Hello, everyone. Happy as ever day. Have we all got our orders? Are we happy with what we got? A couple things that I did actually guess right. A couple things that are new that I didn't guess and was surprised by. But all very lovely. And we're going to get into all of that in today's podcast. I'm also going to take some call-ins. I'll take some call-ins for this podcast, and then right after this, we're actually going to have a second podcast. Just because I wanted to give some space to celebrate the latest As Ever drop and to celebrate something else that Meghan did, interviewing one of the victims of the LA fire. And just celebrate the goodness, and then we'll have another podcast where we talk about the drama. But this podcast is all about celebrating the latest As Ever drop. And what an incredible drop it is. And you lot are really out here spending your money. I saw someone drop something like $300. Out here spending your money. Listen, Meghan's gonna be a billionaire real quick. Because you all, I'm gonna show you some of the orders. People have been sending me pictures of their orders. All right, let me just do one quick thing. There's one slide still loading, and then we can get into it because it's quite a bit to get into. I'm so excited today. I mean, not just the products, but I feel like with every As Ever drop, we're seeing more the level of business savvy, branding, marketing. And I don't even think that As Ever has flexed half of its muscle. And I'm so, I come from an e-commerce marketing background. So this type of stuff, branding and all that, it really excites me because I love to see how different brands put their image together. And it's everything, the packaging, the font, the website. Like, I mean, the website on desktop especially looks glorious. I can't wait for the website to have like a blog. The website doesn't even have a blog yet. And I'm so sure that would be coming soon. I can't wait for them to have a blog, recipes, TikTok, like just do everything. Give us everything, please. Who was it that said somebody spent 2,000? I spent too much money and still thinking about the candles. Everything looks glorious. He said, I missed Meghan's open today. I was out. Did she have any tea? I mean, she was sipping tea on her Instagram. She posted a gram of her in the house with the dogs. There is, the tea is all still there. The herbal peppermint, herbal lemon, and the herbal hibiscus. That's still there. I don't think they added any new tea. I saw who was it that said I saw someone spend $2,000. Damn. Incredible. Kathy, I was hoping for the shortbread cookie mix. Is that sold out? Oh yeah, the cookie mix isn't there. Yeah, that was very popular. Okay, let's get into it. Because there's so many things to go through. I'm going to read an article from WWD. But here we go. Here are some of the so what you can see once this loads I hope you guys can see it because it's loading a bit slow for me. Yeah, so this is more of the branding. They're putting, I love this picture, with the Christmas, probably turkey or chicken, the honey, Meghan picking stuff from the orchard. Branding is just exquisite. And here we go. We have hot toddy mulling spice kit and the spice cider mulling spice kit. Now, I said mulled wine? We didn't get a mulled wine, but we got the mulling spice kit, which I love. My favorite thing around Christmas is mulled wine with cinnamon. Now, I've actually never heard of mulling spices. How do you use mullings? So mulling spices are a spice mix used in drink recipes. The spices are usually added to hot apple cider, mulled wine, and other drinks in autumn or winter. That is lovely. This is a new for me. I usually just drop in some cinnamon, like the whole cinnamon, not even like the powder. And so I'll be looking into this. Never thought of just adding cinnamon, like the powdered cinnamon. And then we've also got the sage honey with honeycomb and the 2021 vintage Napa Valley Brut, nice and sparkly. So they went for a wine that's been that's a little bit older, which is nice. Probably have a richer taste. So there's that. There's also 2 new candles, a signature fruit spread, the gift set. So I did say this. So I said we'd get gifting. So that would be great for the holiday season. And then the 2 honeys, the duo set. So the limited edition honey, each with a delicate flavor of its own. And then we have. Okay, so let me read out the whole article so we can get all of the deets. Give me one sec, folks. We've got a lot to get through today. And I'm very excited about it. Let me know what you got in the chat while I'm just looking for the article. Oh, here's the while the article is loading, here's some of the orders. Like, you lot are preparing for war. So Meghan's as ever debuts first holiday collection with signature candle inspired by her wedding. I love this. So Duchess Meghan has introduced the first holiday collection from her lifestyle brand As Ever, marking the label's expansion since its launch this past spring, available exclusively on asever.com. The curated range includes candles, Californian harvested honey, artisanal fruit spreads, mulling wine kits, and a limited edition sparkling wine from Napa Valley. The collection is inspired by the spirit of gifting and gatherings, reflecting the brand's focus on home, celebration, and everyday ritual. Among the highlights are 2 hand-poured candles crafted in California, signature candles number 519, named after Duchess Meghan's wedding date, May 19th, and with Prince Harry, and also features, so these are the notes. Let me just get the picture back up. Moroccan mint and white tea notes. White candle number 084 draws from her August 4th birthday and carries hints of sandalwood, lotus, and poppy. That sounds like more like my type of thing. Both are housed in ceramic vessels and inspired by personal memories. Now they look quite big. Let me just actually open if I go to the product page, see if they've got how big the vase actually. Oh, actually, it's like it's a pretty standard. So the dimensions are 3.25 inches by about 4.5. Okay, so it's like standard candle. I do hope though that she does bigger ones, like the massive Joe Malone ones of like 3 wicks, And Meghan is a massive Jo Malone fan. And so for all the people who are complaining that the candles are too expensive because £64, this is definitely an artisan candle. Like, I don't think they're using coconut apricot wax, coconut wax, soy wax, and paraffin wax. And certain type of waxes are more healthier to burn than others. So I'm sure that they're using, top grade ingredients. Because some of these candles, like, you burn them and what it gives off, it's not actually good for you. So I'm so sure that they would have focused on great ingredients, none of that cheap stuff. And the ceramic vessel as well, like, that's going to be a beautiful keepsake. So also new this season is the 2021 vintage Napa Valley wine, produced with the traditional method champenoise from Pinot and Chardonnay grapes. The sparkling offers crisp notes of green apple, pear, and citrus, presented in a matte black bottle embossed with gold details. Gift-ready provisions around the line. The fruit spread gift set, so you can see that in the middle there, includes raspberry, orange, and the new strawberry marmalade made with simple fruit-based recipes. The honey duo gift set contains wildflower and orange blossom honeys sourced entirely from Californian apiaries, while sage honey with honeycomb offers a raw textured alternative tied to the herbs grown in Meghan's own garden. Finally, 2 seasonal mulling kits, spice cider and hot toddy. Blend cinnamon, citrus peel, and ginger for home celebrating. The collection follows the brand's rapid April debut sellout and July debut in the wine market, signaling a move to broader artisan home and entertaining goods. Lovely. So there are all your new as ever products. Unfortunately, no international shipping this time. So, but I think most people have figured out how to use the forward shipping companies, and Squaddies have been sending things to their Squaddie friends. Right, let's go to your comments. Let's see what you all bought. Let's have a look. You might be able to add it in wine. She's smart for doing that. Yes, it was an interesting little addition. Not what I expected. I expected the actual mulled wine. You still have some wine from before. That's great, Lottie. Lottie said, I want the candle. I want the candle as well, actually. I'm very interested in homeware that Meghan's going to do. Because what we've seen from the inside of the house, lovely. Lady, you said, I got the fruit spread trio and then 5 raspberry spreads. Oh my goodness. Gwen, you said, you haven't opened any of your wine. G said, I love the advertisement as ever did this time. And when I visited the website later today, the items were tailored in sections. What a boss Meghan is, who improves in the details. Exactly. The branding is top notch. Top notch. And it just gets better with every new drop. And also, when you went on the website this morning, it still had like just a landing page. And it was like, 'tis the season, coming soon. And then obviously the PR people, just before the drop came out, sent the exclusives to WWD online. And then everything went live. And it looks glorious. Heather said, I have mulled wine in the past in a crock pot with cloves and spice. Yeah, cloves and cinnamon. Yeah, I love 3-wick candles too. And candles are safe for pets. What, these Meghan's candles? It doesn't say anything about that on the website, but the ingredients look pretty natural. So the scent number 519 It says, it's a feeling of warm sunshine and blue sky, surrounded by love and laughter. The signature candle is inspired by the ease and joy of a day that holds Meghan's most cherished memories, her wedding day, May 19th. Bright and refreshing, with quietly grounded notes of Moroccan mint leaf, white tea leaves, and a black note of woodsy cardamom. Number 519 fills the room with soothing, welcoming fragrance that remains our founder's tried and true favorite. Housed in a beautiful ceramic vessel, this candle is hand poured in California, a refreshing scent to rise with, like a cup of mint tea, and to relax with, like a warm company of the ones you love. Number 519 evokes the freshness of the day in the English countryside, a walk in the garden, the spirit of happiness that is hard to resist. Listen, give the copywriter a raise. Give the copywriter a raise. I'm convinced. Gak, what did you get? You got 2 of the jam sets, mulled drink mixes, each of the sandalwood, 1 spread, and 3 raspberry jams. Y'all are really spending. Lottie, you said you don't care how much the candles cost. I'm getting 2. You do you, boo boo. Blessings to you too, Maria. Jess, you got the champagne, the spread, and the spices, and 2 extra raspberry spreads. Heather, you said I'll burn the candles on the holidays. Yes. I do love a nice candle, but it has to be the right scent. Some candles, it's just like because they have like the artificial scents, and it's too strong, gives you a headache. But Meghan's always, been about home and lifestyle. So I'm sure she's taken inspiration from her favorite brands. She knows what she likes, what she doesn't like, and she's poured that into her own brand. Lisa, you said, I can also see her doing something inspired by Doria, who has been a rock for her and Harry. Yes. I also love that the way that they're branding the candles, the numbers, like it's giving that kind of like Chanel number 5 branding, that legacy branding, I call it. Legacy branding. Because there's certain things like everybody knows Chanel number 5. And it's like attaching like a lifestyle item to attaching an item to a lifestyle brand and letting that almost like be an avatar for the brand. I think it's a very good way of branding lifestyle products. Pearl, you said I got nothing, still waiting for the UK's turn. I know. I mean, if you think about it, Meghan said they went from a couple hundred SKUs to thousands of SKUs, and then you got to think about how you then go to millions of SKUs. So, and that's just them looking at their US market. They're still only in the US. Obviously, people are, overseas, they're finding ways to get stuff shipped overseas. But be patient with them. I know we want them to hurry along, but finding the right logistics company, and I think food logistics is very different from things like clothing, and they've got all the different items that they have to work with at the same time. So I think they have to find the right logistics partner, and then we can look at international shipping. TV, you said you got sparkling wine, the honey, and the raspberry. Very nice. Joseph, you said the royal family will long regret the day they unleashed the category 6 hurricane of awesomeness called Meghan Sussex. Yeah. I mean, she was awesome before she met them. They tried to make her be 50% of herself, and even at 50% of herself, she was still amazing. And then she left and she said, oh, we're going up to 110%, honey. 110%. Don't tell me to be 50% of myself. I'm sure the haters will be buying buying the wine and then complaining that they got drunk. Meghan's wine made me drunk. Oh, well, you shouldn't have drank so much. Okay. Anyway, as ever, drop has been incredible. Beautiful items. I think they stocked up pretty well because I can't see that anything has sold out so far. And I'm seeing it's quite incredible. I'm seeing people with 5, multiples of 2, 3, 4, 5 of stuff. So I think they stocked up well because nothing has sold out so far. But Meghan did say she didn't want a situation where every time something comes out, everything just sells out quickly. They want enough SKUs. By the way, you can also get the fruit spread trio. You can get it by itself or in the gift set. All right, next thing. Meghan did an interview. Where is this now? This also popped up today. So Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, interviews Altadena Girls founder Avery Colvert about fighting fire with empathy and activism. So let's have a read of this. So this was in Town and Country. Avery Colvert was only 14 years old when she launched Altadena Girls during LA's devastating fires. Now, what could have been a moment has become a movement. Earlier this year, the world looked on in horror as fires ravaged neighborhoods across Los Angeles. The question that unified us all, how can I help, was more complicated than it seemed. Ways to get involved were evolving in real time, and there were many people in need. Avery Colvert, a 14-year-old 8th grader in Altadena whose school had just burned down, was among those receiving help. She created an Instagram account, Altadena Girls. Oops. Sorry about that background noise. And thanked her community for the food, water, and household items that had poured in through emergency efforts. She also voiced a need specific to young girls, putting out a call for clothing, beauty products, and small essentials that would help my friends feel confident like themselves again. These little things would help girls in the community regain a much needed sense of normalcy. That post went viral. Support for Altadena Girls grew rapidly and stretched far beyond Los Angeles in the days that followed. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, a native of the city, was one of the many people moved by Avery's mission. She joined volunteers to organize and distribute donations to families who need them the most. In the months since the fires, Avery and her mother Lauren, along with a devoted circle of volunteers and supporters, have kept up their efforts, expanding the work of Altadena Girls. They recently opened a community center in Pasadena to carry its spirit forward. Of all the things Altadena Girls has provided to a community in crisis, hope may be the most powerful. Here, Avery and Lauren speak candidly with the Duchess about what inspired their action, why it resonated so deeply, and their hopes for what will come next. So, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, says, Avery, tell us about the moments just before you created the original Instagram account for Altadena Girls. What was going through your mind? Avery says, I noticed that there was this stigma around many girls my age asking for help, and I wanted to create a space where they could be comfortable asking for help and could feel supported. That was the original idea, but it's transformed into something so big, and we've been able to help so many people. You know what I love about this is Meghan centering the person who actually went and did the work and interviewing her. I don't think I've ever seen one of the other royals do something like this. They usually show up and they sit at the center with the experts at the side, mumbling and grumbling away, and we don't understand what they're saying. And we barely hear from the experts. And there will be one thing one day, some kind of fancy schmancy press conference, like when Kate wasted Dr. Jill Biden's time. And then we don't hear anything about that project since. Then Meghan says, and then you took it beyond food, clothing, and shelter to what other young people might need after their immediate needs are met. Avery says, I was thinking about my own bedroom and how everything in there matters to me. The things that you wear, your makeup, etc. Meghan asks, what was the hardest part for you when leaving your home during the emergency? The mum says, Lauren says, definitely not knowing if our apartment or our neighborhood would be okay. We knew there was a lot of things that were already gone. And Meghan asks, often in those moments, people don't know what to do, but I was so moved by the way that you mobilized. What was it like when the first donations started coming in? Avery says, the first day we realized really quickly that this was a lot and we were going to need help. People who came to donate things ended up staying and still work with us to this day. Having a space where girls can come together and feel seen and inspired and supported, that's something that's needed, especially by girls my age. Meghan goes on to say, Out of Dinner Girls began in that crisis moment, and then you had all these donors and media attention. How do you keep working to make an even greater impact? Avery says, we have so much going on right now. We're busy every single day working on the new community center that we plan on opening in fall. And then Meghan also asks, what is it like working as a mother-daughter team on this project? And they both say it's really fun, not perfect because I'm her mum and she's 15. I mean, I think it's pretty badass that such a young woman decided to go, I'm going to do this. But I always go back to the fact that with everything we do, we're planning with girls so that they can talk about what they need. Yes. And Meghan says, Avery, your dedication to this effort speaks so much to your character. A year ago, would you have called yourself a mental health advocate? And then Avery says, if you had told me that a year ago, I wouldn't have believed you. And her mother says, I would believe it. She's always been an advocate. I don't think she realizes it, but she's naturally always a champion for the underdog. And then Meghan says, what advice would you give to other people whose communities are in crisis? I think this is a very important one, especially in light of what's going on in Jamaica right now. I'm sending my best to everyone there. Avery says, I tell people that in a moment of crisis, I couldn't sit here and do nothing. I was so angry that this had happened. The best advice I could give is to ignore any thoughts like, oh, you can't do this. I took my step forward and said, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it now. That is amazing. That is just really amazing. All right, I will post I'm not going to read the entire interview because it's a bit long, but I read most of it out, and you can just get the gist of, the fact that Meghan not only gave this woman space to talk, a young woman, space to talk, but actually went to a large outlet like Town and Country, there's the link, to give her a platform to speak and put her at the center. They did a whole editorial with the young lady in the middle and the other young ladies benefiting from this space. And I think that's lovely. That's a nice little addition to As Everyday. Lotta, you said, I wonder if Meghan and Harry have guests in for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I wonder if any of Harry's friends join them. I'm sure they do. Sure that we've seen that they do. See, she said, yeah, that was a waste of time. Jill had a polite what the F look on her face. Did they not research her educational work or history? She doesn't have a fluffy work experience. Yes. I think it was just so insulting that they wasted her time. Sorry, let me sip my water. It said a content creator is creating AI videos of the Sussex family at the Dodger Stadium, as was also done months ago. Is that the video? I have no idea. I don't know anything about that. Unfortunately, this AI is absolutely out of control. And just as well, Meghan and Harry signing that petition. We need checks and balances. It's just gone out of control now, and a lot of it is very racialized. There was a thing trending online today because they're making these fake videos of like black women like screaming about food stamps and that kind of very highly racialized, stereotyped kind of imagery. There's a lot of that. And that type of, degrading imagery, unfortunately, just gets so many views. I mean, was Malcolm X wrong? No, he was not. The most disrespected woman in America is a black woman. And so those type of images, they are a money-making machine for some people. I've even seen people selling guides on how to make these images. So definitely be very, very wary when it comes to AI. There's a lot of AI Sussex stuff. Some of it is relatively harmless and it's just like fans making cool edits and stuff. But I would say that making AI imagery of their family, that is a step too far. That's just creepy. Um, I'd say leave the kids out of this, number one. Also, that actually reminds me of something else. There were Squaddie fans who, all of the Halloween imagery that Meghan put out, they got the stills. I mean, it really takes a skilled person to sit frame by frame and then zoomed in on the stills where the kids' faces were in the background and blurred but facing towards the camera. I don't know why any fan would do that. And then those pictures, the Daily Fail actually picked those up. So like, you're doing the work of the Daily Fail. It's just not necessary to be doing that. Like zooming in on picture. I mean, why? Why would you do that? Behaving like a deranger. Definitely not OG Squaddies. Thank you so much, Kevon Slims. You said, I can't believe the derangers are still making videos about the Emigrante dinner in Paris. Are they still? Wow. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. And like that video of Harry and George dancing, I never saw that video and I hope I never do. Didn't see it. But it's very, very scary, people being able to do those type of things. Why endanger the kids? Indeed. Some of those unfortunately were fans. We have some fans that are a little bit too crazed, that behave like derangers on these Squaddie streets, unfortunately. So it's unfortunate because I feel like when people who haven't been in the fandom for a while like join the fandom later, because they weren't there at the beginning, they don't get the code of conduct that we've lived by all of this time. So I do notice that you do have some Squaddie fans who behave like derangers, and it's very annoying. Otti, you said, I think that Prince Harry was very lucky to find a woman who fits his caliber, but of course he had a list, didn't he? Yeah. And Meghan was the whole list, honey. She was the whole list. But it works both ways. You have a list, but you also have to be a man who can match the woman who is the list. And Meghan told him things have to change, or she was going to leave. All right. So I wanted to give As Ever and that story its own space and time. I won't do call-ins for this podcast, maybe the next one. But I'm gonna do another podcast straight away. It's scheduled for a bit later, but I'm literally just gonna end this one and start the new one. So yeah, we'll be catching up on all the news that I didn't catch up on yesterday. William and Earthshot, Charles being heckled, some updates on Randy Andy and the situation with which castle are we going to throw him in so we can get him out of the way. And yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in the next podcast. So if you would like to join us for that one, please log out of this one and then we'll get started with the next one right away. Thank you, folks. Happy as ever day. I hope you got your orders, and nothing has sold out so far, so I think we've got plenty. You've got more than enough time. Try and get your orders in early before the holiday season so that they arrive on time and you get what you want. Enjoy. Ciao.